Are you serious? Are you serious? Is your gut wrenching? Is your stomach cramping? Are you feeling the pain? Well, you might have eaten some bad salad out of a bag. According to reports, 122 Americans are in the hospital right now in the last 24 hours due to infection, parasites in garden salad bags that was being sold at Aldi's. The FDA recalled these bag grocery store salad after 122 people have been sickened in 7 states. If you live in Illinois, Iowa, Missouri, Kansas, Nebraska, South Dakota, Minnesota, Wisconsin, you may have eaten some bad salad in the bag. And I always feel weird about the salad in a bag. It's just like, how do I know if it's clean? What's going on? Well, this Cyclospora, which is a parasite so small that you can't even see it unless you have a microscope. This little dinky cell, this parasite, it's usually transmitted with infected fetal matter, contaminated food or water when people eat the salad. And so this is, and now listen, if 122 people are in the hospital in the last 24 hours, at least 1,000 people are sick, maybe 2,000 are sick at home, puking it out and diarrhea and all that. It's not good. We gotta cleanse the coast. But you know what? It's more than just what we eat. It's a lot of how we feel. And so what we're finding out now is we're going to bring in an expert who can help us understand how to avoid, first of all, these deadly parasites that are so dangerous. And what can we do to get past that? But what else? I mean, our gut, isn't it all in our gut? Let's get Ronnie McMullen right now. Ronnie McMullen from GetTheT.com. Ronnie, don't be eating salad out of a bag.
No, it's probably not a good idea. Thanks for having me on the show. It's really a tough time right now, and we're going to see all kinds of weird stuff take place. Our food is changing. I'll leave it at that. There's a lot of things that are changing that are not put out over the airwaves, and that is really bad for us. I think buying prepackaged anything, you're taking a shot in the dark. And when I say that, a shot in the dark, whether it is a good product and it's a safe product, think about how many recalls there are on so many issues. A lot of meats, a lot of fresh produce, but you never have a lot of recalls on, like, if you were to go down to the store and buy a head of lettuce or a head of cabbage or some squash or an onion. Usually that's pretty good. But when it goes into a package, where was that package from? Who was there? What were they doing? And you have all these things. Oh, we washed it. What does that mean? We sprinkled a little water on it, like, some kind of holy event or something. That doesn't work. So always wash your food when you get it home. I don't care if it's a head of lettuce or a packaged product. Wash your food. I even wash my meat. I usually get grass-fed beef, locally. But when I do buy something from the store that's meat and I know it's halfway decent quality, I still wash that meat. So we have to be a little more careful than we used to because there's invaders, and we'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, Ronnie, folks, this is Ronnie McMullen, GetTheT.com. That's www.GetTheT.com. And, you can always call if you want to place an order for his tea, which is amazing, at 928-308-0408. Again, that's 928-308-0408. Ronnie, it's said that the Food and Drug Administration has issued a warning now. They're concerned about this. Obviously, there's no way to keep every bag of lettuce in the world safe. But the fact is that when we've decided, instead of buying the head of lettuce herself, like my mama always did, and the tomatoes and whatever, brought it home, or out of her garden, because she had a huge garden. My dad had huge gardens. But I remember my mom over the sink rinsing everything we ate. I mean, she didn't care what it said. The bag says right on it, Ronnie, it says thoroughly washed and ready to enjoy. But you can't bank on that. I mean, you got, so we got these parasites. I got real sick overseas. I got hepatitis A. And I almost died from it. I mean, seriously, I was so sick you won't even believe. They thought I had my spleen enlarged, my gallbladder enlarged. my appendix enlarged. And the one doctor said, look, you got appendicitis. Brought in a surgeon. The surgeon was going to cut me open. That wasn't even what was wrong. He said, you know what? All these organs are inflamed, but I don't think that's the primary problem. I think you've got some kind of contaminant. And 3 days later, they found it was hepatitis A. And so how many people get sick, their gut? And there's a lot of food. We eat a lot of stuff. We don't flush our bowels right. I mean, we're messed up, aren't we? We need to get the tea, Ronnie. Get the tea.
Well, I almost push the tea, and at times like this, and not just times meaning bagged lettuce problems, that we're always going to have that. We're always going to have meat problems. Anything that's packaged, we're going to have problems. But where I want to go with this, that I really think is important, is during this season, this so-called pandemic season, which I don't think they're going to shorten this time. I think they're going to lengthen this time because they want to. And long and the short of it is, we don't know. There's so much uncertainty. We don't know what's around the corner. We don't know, are they going to open things up? Are they going to get rid of the masks? Are they going to have us wear hazmat suits? So, where are we going with this? So we don't know. And that creates a lot of fight or flight, which is called fear. And when we have fight or flight, it goes into our body and it jacks us up in so many ways, releasing cortisol, adrenals. It also releases glucose. There's lots of bad stuff that gets released, but it also takes your digestion and puts it into a traffic jam. So then when you go eat, and I try to get people, lessen your beef, just lessen your beef. And that's kind of getting in a bigger league, because they're just killing cows randomly because supposedly there's not enough workers in the packing houses, so they're just going to go out to the field and shoot cows. And that just
no.
Yeah, that's exactly where I'm at. So that just killing. Wow, I won't even go there. That almost makes me cry. So it's hard enough to eat something.
Well, but Ronnie,
when you're eating it, but to just kill it for no reason, that's just mind-blowing.
And it's not just cattle either. I mean, look at the bird flu with the chicken and the poultry, the turkey. I mean, We're dealing with, and we're getting a lot of our food from China these days. How's that? I mean, we have no control of what we're eating, do we?
No, we can, but it goes back to expense. And people, it's not a big rich time right now. People are hard for money. We're having people at our company, and they're buying quite a bit, actually. So these are some smarter people that, and if they have it, they do that because it may get harder. Just as we had a shortage on TP, we're starting to have shortage on meat, which that doesn't even need to be there. So shortages cause people to go freaky. And so then all of a sudden they buy out, one media center says, well, vitamin C is good. Oh man, every vitamin C on the internet's gone. And it's really sad, because there's some things that are stronger than what they say on the actual TV or what they say on the internet. There's a lot of things that are stronger combatants for what we're going through. But back to the digestion. So when we have uncertainty, fear, and all these, and we're chemically imbalanced because of the fear, which is a fight or flight, it's great if you have a bear behind you, because you're going to run like crazy and the bear's not going to get you. But if you don't have a bear on your back, it's useless, and it puts you into a chemical problem. And when that chemical problem, you don't think right, your brain starts funking out, everything starts getting weird. And then, of course, your digestion just says, whoa, we're just going to stop here for a while and take a break. Yeah, we're just going to take a break. And when you take a break, you start getting bloating, you start feeling full, you start feeling nauseous, and we can go on and on. This is where Get the Tea works. This is where the Life Change Tea goes in. It's like sending cops down there. I hope I can still say that.
What?
It's like sending traffic guys down there and unloosening the traffic and getting things going in your stomach. And not like a big, oh my gosh, I'm running to the bathroom. Not one of those deals, but a gentle move, so that you go, okay, I'm feeling good again. Life is good. Everything's moving. Traffic's going. You may not be doing 80 miles an hour, but it's going. It's moving along. And that to me is so important. And that's why when you see my specials, you'll always see the tea. Always, almost. I mean, there's very rarely that I'll put a special without the tea. And that's because the tea is such a powerful unit to get your digestion working, which entails so much more, because when everything's moving, your colon, everything's good, then you don't get the bad guys getting sick, that kind of stuff. So it's really powerful.
And a lot of diseases, folks, that people get start in the gut with different types of problems. You're hearing Ronnie say it's not just the parasites that may get into your system, but it's also, the worries, the fear, the anxiety that's messing up your regularity. And let me just say, Ronnie, they said that this Dyspora parasite, it really is bad. The small intestines get extremely inflamed, massive diarrhea, explosive bowel movements, cramping, fever, the whole 9 yards, and you just don't get it. It's not good. And folks, the bags even said on some of them there, and they sold this at Aldi's. Okay. It said that it's been thoroughly washed, ready to eat. You just got to understand. You got to wash everything you eat. You just don't trust anything. Ronnie, let me ask you, now that we see this stuff happening, and you mentioned COVID, and all of a sudden we're seeing these weird shortages of food. They're changing our food. A lot of stuff's not on the shelf. And here's what I've been hearing. A lot of people are saying this because the price of beef and the price of meat is going to go so high. Spam is going to become the food of choice. Spam and eggs. Here we go again. I don't know what's in spam. I'm afraid to ask, but what does that mean? Is that going to be healthier?
It's mystery meat. It's mystery meat. It's kind of like bologna. I don't know how many people eat bologna and hot dogs, and if you really went into the details of what goes in bologna and hot dog, you probably would never eat it again. Especially when you take a microscope and you get it locked into what's in bologna and hot dogs. Even the good ones have garbage in them. So, and I'm not trying to beat up the hot dog stands, but because hot dog tastes good. But if you notice, a hot dog, if it tastes really good, it's salty. If you go back to the chicken McNuggets or the chicken sandwiches that McDonald's used to have, and that was in the day that I used to eat in McDonald's, you get the spicy chicken, and the chicken was not really chicken. It was something rubbery, like a chicken, I guess. And they would always have this spicy, and it was, you're like, oh, this is good. And I one day I just somehow knew it intuitively that the reason they spice it up is because it's really not the real deal. So you put a lot of flavor on something, you can kind of pass over what it really is, and that's what we're seeing. They want to move the prices of food. They maybe are going to wrench this up a lot, and you'll have to have a card that says that you're taken care of by the health institution before you can buy meat. See, here's the interesting thing. For years on radio, people have talked about concentration camps. Right. I don't think the new concentration camp is going to be a concentration camp. I just don't, because their fannies will be out in the wind with that. They will not like to see that. So the new concentration camp is home lockdown, and they're giving it a run for their money pretty much right now or close to it. And you're going to have a card that says you're taken care of by the health institution, and that's how you're going to buy food, and that's how you're going to buy gasoline. That's how you're going to whatever they want you to do. And there's going to be an uprise where people say absolutely not, and they're going to take their guns out in the streets, which is exactly what they want. And they're going to have, there's going to be civil unrest, and that's what they want. They want civil unrest. If they want us to be a third world country, we cannot be peaceful. We have to be in an uproar, and we're already been starting that. And the election, if Biden wins, we're so in trouble. But honestly, we're going to be in trouble if Trump wins too. Not that Trump is this really, wretched guy. Biden kind of is, but that's just my opinion. But we're going to see some things even with Trump, because right now he's barely swimming because of the outbreak. He's all the stuff with Michael Flynn, all the stuff with the Russia, the crud. I mean, he has just been inundated. I don't know if the man even sleeps at all. And so if he does win by the vote of the people, which is very possible, then he's going to be flooded with garbage because they don't want him there. So we have some tough times coming, And I would just tell you, it's probably not a bad idea to stock up on a few things that you need. I wouldn't go crazy to where stuff spoils and you don't have any room for it, and then you're moved by fear. You don't want to be moved by fear. But having a little bit of wisdom might be smart. And if you're digestive, it might be a good time to go and pray a little more in your spot, in your private spot, because that actually calms your nerves and your mind and everything else. And I'll just tell a quick story here, Pastor. There's a machine. It's for your brain, and it's a relaxing machine for like meditation and prayer. And it's called a Huso, and I'm not trying to get people to buy it. I have nothing to do with the company, but I thought I would do something one time because sometimes I have blood sugar issues, and I went in and I checked my blood, and then and it had a certain number, and then I went in, and it's a 30-minute session when you put these earphones on and you listen to these sounds, and they're weird sounds, but they're supposedly puts the right brain and the left brain and get them connected again, because everything that's technology is splitting those two, so our creative mind's not apart, which that's our God part. So anyway, I went ahead and I did this for 30 minutes, and I thought, I'm going to go check my blood again. And it was down by 30%.
Wow.
No, nothing, but just listening to that for 30 minutes. Now, it's not that the machine is so wonderful, and it is a wonderful machine, but that's not where I'm going with this. Where I'm going with this is, if it can be done on a machine, it can be done when you sit in your private time, in your prayer, in your meditation, in your time where you go out and you're with the trees or the water or whatever you're doing, or you're even in your creative side, maybe you're doing art or dance or something like that, music, whatever. Those will take you and calm you down, and you need to be calm because they know the power. Please listen to this. They know the power of fear, and fear will suppress your immune system.
So, folks, there you hear. You have to. This is why we walk by faith and not by fear. Dr. Summerall used to teach us all the time, there's not enough room in your heart for fear and faith. They don't fit, okay? So you have to decide which one's going to guide you. And if you walk by faith and not by fear, then you will have more wisdom, because fear will make you do irrational things. Faith will cause you to make smart choices. I think healthy choices. One thing you just mentioned about being prepared a little bit, you're right. I've purchased 2 cattle that are going to be from the Amish, all grass-fed, and I'm buying those 2 cows, and they're going to prepare them for me, and they're going to be going into my freezers, and that way I'm stocking up for, not for like the end of the world, I'm stocking up for these uncertain times when prices are outrageous, to have a supplemental, add that into the diet as we go. But don't you think we need some more supplements? I mean, a lot of people are eating food that's not real. I mean, restaurants, drive-through restaurants, it's not real. So, I mean, Ronnie, it's not real. So we got to get the tea. We got to flush ourselves. And anyway, the tea tastes great, by the way. But don't we need some more?
If it cleanses you, here's something to think about. If you get tainted water, you're going to want something to clean that as well. I mean, if that makes any sense. So, to tell you go buy a whole bunch of supplements, I'm not going to do that. But on the same token, having a little extra might be a smart idea. And the reason it's a smart idea is because whoever gets on the internet and says, you need XYZ, or you need, maybe they say you need the tea, it'll be sold out. And then where are we? So when times are kind of mellow, and they're a little mellow right now, but I think they're going to get wrenched up a little bit. I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm dead wrong. So while they're mellow, put a few things in the background. If you can afford it, put a couple things in the background. Make sure you have some really good immune stuff. Make sure the tea is really important to have, because it's going to cleanse things. And let me tell you something else. I talked to a couple doctors, and they said you'll last longer on supplements than you will on food.
Wow. Well, it's because there's more protein, there's more vitamins and nutrients in, in the
minerals. People don't realize, and we sell a Minerals Plus, but people don't realize when you are fight or flights, in other words, you're fearful. And I'm not saying you're scaredy cat. That's not where I'm at. I'm just saying you're on edge. You're a nervous wreck, whatever the case may be. And when you get like that, your minerals deplete. And usually your liquids deplete, which means you need to get your water supply. You need to get your water supply and make sure you're drinking a lot. We're supposed to be drinking, half your body weight. So, if you're 200 pounds, you need to be having 100 ounces of water per day. Now, that could be much for some people, but, dehydration is not good at all. And dehydration and your minerals being gone, you'll literally get jumpy and weird and everything else, and your brain won't fire right.
Folks, this is Ronnie McMullen. Ronnie McMullen at GetTheT.com. GetTheT.com. He's got great supplements that will really help you, as well as his famous GetTheT.com. You can call your order in, if you would like to, at 928-308-0408. That's 928-308-0408, or just go to his website. Go to www.getthet.com. That's www.getthet.com, and get the supplements that go with it. What are your specials for this month, Ronnie, that you think is important this month?
I got the blood pump special going on, and it's basically it's bilberry and niacin, and of course the tea. And bilberry is really helpful keeping for healthy eyes. It's also for cardiovascular and lots of good stuff. Niacin opens up your capillaries, opens up the veins, and lets things move through a lot better. So it's really good for cardiovascular, and that's wonderful. And then, of course, we've talked about the tea, so we know what that's doing. And then the other special is tea and spirulina, which is really, spirulina is like a superfood. And ours is organic, which is, there's not a lot of organic spirulina out there. And it's a big bottle. So it's a big bottle of spirulina and tea. And that's on special as well. And if you mention Paul, okay, you're going to get free shipping. Shipping is on me. So you want to make sure you put that in the coupon code, hit apply, and you're going to get free shipping. But the spirulina is a beautiful, if you just Google spirulina and see what it does. It's an algae. So I noticed, Pastor, that a lot of things that come from the ocean, and we carry quite a few. We have a new product for hair and nails, and we're always trying to expand our what we have a little bit. We don't want to get crazy, but we have some pretty cool stuff. And anyway, the hair and nails formula comes obviously from the ocean. Sea vegetables come from the ocean, marine aminos and sockeye salmon. By the way, salmon is so important for you to, and also as xanthan, by the way, and the salmon oil is really good for you to rejuvenate your blood cells. So these are, if you just look up a few things, you can, we try to teach people, but we're kind of limited to what we can say because the suits get after us thinking we're making claims. Which is really funny too, Pastor. I just got to say this. It's interesting how they go after the supplements, and the pharmaceutical in the 20s was almost completely supplements. And people did very well. But if you look at how many people are dying from pharma, it doesn't show well. And it was never like that in the 20s with pharma. Pharma was good stuff. It was supplements and in mixtures that were really, really positive. So I don't know why they don't want you to take vitamin C, or they don't want you to take something that will help your immune system. I'm not sure if I understand that, but everybody can kind of get an idea. But all I would say is I can't make claims, but I can tell you, if you look it up, you'll see a lot of people have very, very positive situations with using supplements.
It's quite interesting how that the FDA and others have decided what Food and Drug Administration. I never could understand why Food and Drug Administration are in the same administration. Okay, here, eat this, and then now you need this to get better. Eat this food. Oh, now you need this to get better. It's like those guys should be in separate departments because one's feeding the other. But you're right.
Yeah.
Why get mad at people who are encouraging people to take vitamins and drink tea and all the herbal medicines that have worked for so long? Why go against that and force synthetic pharmaceutical medications that all have side effects? It just doesn't make sense to me.
Right. I mean, here, let me give you an idea. So for years, I fed my dogs just bagged dog food, and a good one, Purina. So I fed my dogs, and my dogs didn't live long. They'd say, "Oh, your dog should be living 12 to 15 years," and I'd lose my dog by 8 or 9 years old, and I couldn't understand. So I did some research, and when I did the research, it basically talked about feed your dog raw food, feed your dog organic stuff, and very little kibble, and raw meats or heart or gizzards or liver, chicken liver, that kind of stuff. And I thought, oh, what a hassle. But we love our little furry kids. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to try it. My dog had diarrhea probably 4 days out of 7. I started doing this and feeding my dog beef heart, and this stuff's cheap. You just have the pain in the butt to cut it all up and get it ready, but oh well. So I did all this, and I did this for probably, I've been doing it ever since, but it took probably 3 weeks, and my dog totally goes to the bathroom normal. He's fine, everything's good. He's happy. I mean, boy, you want to talk about, they'll be your friend. You feed them raw meat. And that's what they're supposed to eat. They're canine. They're supposed to be eating. So all this to say, and this is not necessarily a pitch to which way you should take care of your dog. What I'm trying to say is the natural way is the good way. When you buy this kibble that's been formulated and cooked, there's no nutrition. And we've been taught that we need to do that, and it's okay. And the dogs have probably been saying, please don't, please, really, please. And so once I switched over, my dog's healthy. My other dog that had cancer, she's doing better. And I go, really? So what does that say if we eat right? That's just the question I'd have. If we eat right and exercise and take our supplements, where are we going to be? There you go.
There you go, folks. Ronnie McMullen, getthetea.com. Ronnie McMullen, getthetea.com. Look at this. I got the pomegranate tea. I got the regular life-changing tea. Here's a tea, there a tea. Everywhere you get the tea at .com. Getthetea.com. You can call your order in right now at 928-308-0408. That's 908-308. 0408, getthetea.com, Ronnie McMullen. Ronnie, okay, so the parasites are out there. People are getting sick. It's going to be a long, hot summer, but we're going to have to eat right, pray, take your vitamins and your supplements, and stay healthy, drink the tea. Any more else? Nothing else really.
Stomach aches and you get food poisoning, take the tea. Seriously, take the tea. You'll be so much better, so much quicker. Take the tea because it does some cleansing.
Ronnie, your specials are awesome. Your products have always been awesome. People love them. And folks, I encourage you to go over to getthetea.com. Get your tea now. And let me just say something. It's so nice to sit outside in the evening with a nice glass of iced tea from getthetea.com. Tastes very good, keeps my body fresh, keeps me feeling good. It's all good. Ronnie, I appreciate you coming on, being with us, and we pray for all those folks that are out there maybe who've been sick from this contaminated lettuce. Be careful, guys. Don't buy it in a bag, please. Ronnie McMullen at getthetea.com. Ronnie, thank you for being with us. We'll see you next time.
Thank you so much.
God bless all of you. I'll be back tonight at 9:45 p.m. Eastern for another powerful broadcast tonight with Mike from around the world. God bless all of you.